Oh, I don't actually stream it in Discord yet. Yep. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to ISDA 2022 Winter ACC Championship. It's a beautiful day here at Barcelona-Catalunya, and it's a warm one at the moment. 50 degrees out there on track. It's absolutely roasting. Qualifying just over 11.5 minutes left of qualifying at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see what the guys can do. Obviously this evening's race is an extended one. It's 2 hours long this evening, so open pit strategy, and it's going to be really interesting to see how these guys go. And a quick one to mention, we are now brought to you by Sim Racing Pro, so thank you ever so much for your sponsorship, and obviously give them a check out. It'll be an interesting one. Great that they are with us here, especially for this long race here at Barcelona. So at the moment we've got Miltelevich, who is the top of our current leaderboard. Obviously still a long time to go in this race, but he has been dominating the season so far in the pro standings with a first, a second and a first obviously last week at Spa. And as far as the AM standing, who have we got in AM? So leading the AM category is Vujek with a fifth, first and a third. So another great opportunity there, but only 7 points between him first and second in the AM standings. The only person that will say, let's put it this way, the two top guys at the moment, who is Miltelevich and Minton, those two really starting to pull away from the rest of the pack in the pro category overall. With a 78, a 63, and then Concoli in third with 32 points. Actually, it's a three-way tie for third. So there's a really tight battle going on for third position. But at the moment, Miltelevich doing a really strong effort to pull away at the front of the grid. So on board currently with Dan Minton. Oh no, just change over to Miltelevich. He is, oh, there we are on a flying lap. He's going down into turn one now. See what he can do. Really difficult sector here. You can really, if you go too deep into turn one, you mess up turn two, which subsequently ruins turn three. There's a long old drag. Try not to get on the power too soon and run wide and have to get off the throttle later. Try to hold it together as long as possible. Hard on the brakes now. Swinging it through. Another slightly off camber turn here. And just as you come over this rise, very easy to lose the back end. And hard on the brakes here again, throwing it into this left hand, and get as much speed as possible for this sort of mini back straight. Barely a turn here, and then back on the brakes again. Really odd curb here on the inside. Some of the cars will be able to take a lot of curb here, especially there you go on that. There's a sausage curb up the inside. And then onto the official back straight. All the power you can muster before you're coming down to this hairpin at the end. Everyone's going to be leaving it as late as possible. Going to be expected to see a lot of overtaking moves here later in the race. Great runner here again. Here's another difficult corner. Don't want to get on the power too soon as you end up running wide into the gravel. But it looks like Miltelevich has got this absolutely down to a T, using every last millimetre of track. Now into the final chicane. Throws it in, avoiding the giant curb. A little bit of a clip there, but holds it together. Good run. Can he keep it flat through here, through the final turn onto the back straight, or pit straight, sorry? Yes, he can. Is this going to be an improvement for him? Not sure. No, I don't think that was an improvement for him that time round. But really good run. Right, okay, now we are on board with Zach. So Zach currently, he is on a fast lap. not up on his time, but he's also not down, so anything could be made. Currently running in 7th position. That black BMW. Really nice to see a nice mixture of new and older models. I think in the back of the shot we actually just saw the old Jag coming into shot possibly. But Zach doing very nicely here. Still pushing on strong. He is actually slightly down, I think, on his sector time, so this might be more of an outlap, and next time round he might put in a flyer, so we'll keep an eye. Just about 7 minutes left of qualifying now. Yes, here we go. On to a flyer, so let's see what he can do. Can he improve? His fastest lap so far, a 1:45.1. A little bit down. There you go. On board, on the dash, all the way out to the left, coming into turn 1. Good chunk of inside curb. Nice bit there on corner 2 as well. Holding it together, rolling on the power. Going all the way out to the outside edge. Staying all the way out there on that curb. Gets the car turned in nicely. Rolls the power back on. Really nice smooth exit and transition there. Back on the brakes again. A little bit of a dab of the throttle. On the throttle hard now. Runs all the way out wide. So he is up on his time at the moment. So yeah, the BMW handles the sausage. Oh, with ease. It didn't even look like he ran it over. It just went over so smoothly. Brilliant drive there. Again, just rolling throttle on beautifully out these corners. Big BMW engine thundering him down the back straight. Hard on the brakes now into the left-hander. It's such a hard hairpin to get. Very, very easy to overshoot it. But he goes down the gears and then back up again just to get the power on. Oh, the back end lost there. That's going to lose him some time. Can he regain it through this final chicane? Throws it in. Rolling throttle again hard. Sounds like he's flat all the way through the final turn, using plenty of exit. Are we going to see any improvement? So it was a 1:45.1 we had previously. No, it was another 1:45.1, so not quite quick enough. Right, on board with Mex, who is 0.3 up on his time, coming into the final corner now. Corner, not Torner. What am I on about? Oh, completely mixed up my words. Really, really good effort here. And puts himself into 2nd place. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant effort. So now on board with Concoli. So one of the guys in 3rd place overall in the championship. Is this going to be an improvement for him? Yes, up into 2nd place. Concoli taking away Mex 2nd place. He's only had it for a moment or two and immediately takes it away. Staying out as well. Obviously thinks he can improve further. Through turn 1. Beautifully done there. All the way through Renault. Like we said, that wail coming off the back end of that Audi is beautiful to listen to. One of my favourite cars. Here we go, our leading AM driver. Position. You're currently in 7th place, so miles ahead of the 2nd placed Miltelevich. So he's doing really well there. He's coming up towards the line now. What is his time going to be? His best so far has been a 45.047, and that was basically the same lap. The tiniest little bit slower, but we'll keep an eye on him and see how he does through this one. He's obviously still out pushing hard. Goes. We've seen the BMW do really nicely over the curbs here over the last couple of laps. Great to see this car so planted. Oh, quick update, guys. Pit link is up. Sorry about that. There was a slight delay. So Roberto Lopez, yeah, you should be able to see all the live timings on the on pit link. So jump into the description, you should find the link in there, and you can jump on and see all the live timings. We don't have all the live timings up on the actual in-race screen, just because otherwise it's a little bit too cluttered. It takes over a lot of the screen otherwise. So yeah, jump on there if you want to see anything. So looking at the track temperature, managed to stay at 50. I thought it might have gone up with all these cars going around, but not yet. Oh, here we go. Someone else who's on a flyer and coming towards the end is Miltelevich. I do apologise. It's one of those names I really, really struggle to pronounce, and I do feel bad every time, but I stumble every single time. But okay, on a flyer with him now. Down into turn 1. Looking to get all the way out to the left, using all that curb and a big dive to the inside. Again, looks really, really planted. Got to be said, absolutely fantastic drive by him. Holding it together. Rolling on the throttle, using every last bit of circuit you can to get a faster line in. Looking like a fairly decent exit there. Down into the left-hander, holds it together, rolls on the throttle. Looks like he got maybe a little bit unsettled coming out the turn, and he is gaining on the car in front of him, which is the Lexus. Here we go, you see the Porsche differently handles over those curves. You can't take quite the straight line that the BMWs do over those big sausage curves. It's a little bit more unsettled. Here we go, is that, yeah, Lexus diving out the way for him as he is on a flyer. He's 0.1 up at the moment, running really, really nicely. Just about a minute left of qualifying now, so if you're not already out and warmed those tyres up, you really, really are going to need to get out soon. Say over a minute per lap here, so it's not much chance if you're not out now that you're going to be able to put in a time. A couple of guys on out laps that should just about be able to get it together. There we go, it's 0.2 up at the moment. This will be a nice jump up the grid. In fact, it might even put him up into 4th. Great effort, up into 4th with a 144. Basically a 144.7, so really, really good effort, and it looks like he's staying out for one more lap. Can he improve upon himself? Obviously thinks he can, making the most of it, say, pretty much rolling up to the end of qualifying now. Oh, and there we go. Miltelevich pulls in, decides he's given it all his all. Right, on board with Bellato. So 9th place, getting that old school, but basically old school shape Lexus up into the top 10. Really good effort by him. This is going to be the last flying lap for him. Great effort there, throwing it in. Coming down towards the hairpin. How is he going to handle this? Really hard on the brakes, throws it in. Still not too much curve, manages to keep the throttle flat, I think, through there. Great little transition. Hugging that inside curb the whole way round. Good exit, uses all the circuit without touching any of the gravel. Here's 0.3 up. This is going to be a decent jump for him if he can hold it together. So this is going to be one of the last guys to come across the line on a flyer. How's he done? So Bellato currently running in 9th, up into 6th place. What a jump! What a jump for him! Amazing effort. Huge jump. Absolutely brilliant effort there, guys. And Zach coming across the line now. And no improvement for him. So it's just car number 74 and 68. I believe out. Car number 74 coming across the line. Car number 74, where are you positioned? So one last driver out there on the track at the moment. Currently running in 21st place. Oh, and there you go. He's back to the pits. That is an amazing effort by these guys. Absolutely fantastic run. I mean, the times that came in then were absolutely astoundingly close. Could not believe that. That was pretty ridiculous. Right, so grid order as it stands. Obviously, I'm not sure if there's any penalties coming through from last week. Don't think there is, but hopefully not. Right, so on pole is Filip Borovic. Second place is Konkoli. Mex in third. Mikzic in fourth. Kristanic in fifth. Bellato running in sixth. So that real good effort in that Lexus. Amazing effort. Dan Minton in seventh. Jokic in 8th, Zach in 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is Virches. Really good effort by those guys, and really good to see one of the AM drivers up in the top 10. Really good effort by him. Right, so 11th place is D'Couza. Nabel in 12th, Marko Miltelevich in 13th, Langdijk in 14th, Brooker in 15th, Tonzetic in 16th, Vujek in 17th, Tadic in 18th, and Ivo Miltelevich in 19th. And rounding out the top 20 is, oh, I don't believe I've read this name before, Brent Zanic. I do apologise if I've said that wrong. I really hope I got that right. I haven't read that one before. And then in 21st place is Schunrich, and that's actually the full grid. There's not as many people out there this evening. Sort of a couple of people missing out on this round, so going to change up the points quite possibly. Obviously, Borovic, our leader, still way out in front, and he's making sure he is there at the front of the grid as well. So be interested to see how he gets on. And then obviously car number 23, the little yellow Audi, which is the safety car. Sorry, that's car 900, but currently showing in 23rd position, obviously. Be our safety car. Hopefully, we won't have to see too much of it this evening, as obviously it's the safety car. So fingers crossed, we don't have to see too much. We'll just have to see it sat in the pits all boring. Right, just when the cars start their formation lap, we are going to run a quick ad for Sim Racing Pro, so sit tight and we will be back. So I'm going to go quiet while that happens, but see you on the other side. Already at 49 degrees, and this is obviously only the out lap, so expect some seriously hot tyres. 2 hours obviously this evening, open pit strategy, so these guys can come in at any point and as many times as they like. I'd be really surprised if anyone's tyres at this temp can survive hour-long stints, but we've seen it before and I'm sure we'll see it again. If anyone can do it, it will be the guys here at ISDA. Some real high quality guys. Fingers crossed they can all hold it together. And do you know what? If you can't get enough sim racing and you want a little bit more, there is now a Tuesday league as well. So come and join us. It's in the Super Trofeo. So a fixed class car, everyone all the same cars. Obviously you can just do your own setups. But yeah, 45-minute races, 15-minute qualifying. It's only 4 rounds going throughout March. So March 8th, 15th, 22nd and 29th. And that's going to be Paul Ricard, Imola, Misano and Monza. So a real nice little mixture of cars and tracks. So it should be
control. Car number 3 gets a 15-second time penalty that is carried over from race 3. 15 seconds for car number 3, over.
So there we go, quick one from race control there. Car number 3, so that is Kristanich in the BMW. So yeah, it turns out 15-second penalty coming over from Spa. See, apologies, I was not here last week, and thank God luckily we had some stand-ins and we managed to get everything sorted. I do apologise, I was pretty much blind. So right, they are now coming up to the final chicane. Everyone's stacking up, getting nice and close. Not that many cars on track this evening, so everyone should be on the straight and ready to stack up. But can Concoli get a decent run on this pit straight? Who is going to get the best start? That Mercedes running in 3rd place. They are known for really, really good rapid starts. So let's see if it can get itself launched and going. Running to the line now. Green light any moment now. Here that comes. There we go, green light. And who is going to get the best start? It's looking like everyone's holding on to their positions. Looks like possibly Miltelevich. No, not able to. He's tipping up the inside though. Looks like the big Mercedes is going to try and go through the middle of the road for them, and he does! Amazing move. Mex tries to go through the inside. A little bit of a rub there through turn 2. Looks like he gives the position back slightly, but he's now going to try and run around the outside through Renault. Can he do it? Well, I think the Mercedes struggling to keep the nose in, but already gained position there on turn 1. Oh, but he is under attack. There is no escaping that Porsche. The teammates absolutely hounding that car now, but great start by Borovic. Obviously nearly lost it through turn 1 with that a little bit of a rub going into turn 2 with Mex, but the two of them just about holding it together. Really good effort by those guys. Obviously race control will no doubt be looking at it. It didn't look too malicious from where we were in the commentary booth, but fingers crossed nothing much more happens to it. But he is under attack. Miltelevich is under attack. Sorry, on the attack of that Mercedes, trying to get around the outside into the hairpin. Is he going to get the switch back? Not sure he's close enough. Not quite. Really, really good fight. And here we go. On board with Miltelevich now. Oh, running around this long, long turn. Really hard to hold it together there. Great effort by him. Hard on the throttle again. Stamps the brakes. Coming through the final chicane. Looks like it was a pretty clean lap 1, has to be said. Really good race by these guys at the front. Everyone's sort of spreading out. Really nicely done. Oh, well, the fastest lap's coming in. Obviously, that was the opening, so it's going to be a little bit different. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with the fastest lap. But Miltelevich doing a really good effort. But he is now being chased himself by Concoli. And Concoli is certainly going to be trying to get away from the Lexus behind him. Bellato in 5th place. So moved a couple of positions up himself. There you go, Miltelevich back, hounding the big Mercedes. Does seem to be struggling a little bit through these turns, the Mercedes. And a look up the inside. Really good move if he can make it work. Not quite. Couldn't quite carry the speed, and now Concoli is right on the back of him. Oh, there's nothing between these guys, and here we see the difference. You can see that Mercedes able to take the curbs, and to be fair, the Porsche did a really good job there, taking that sausage curve. Little look again here, coming onto that back straight. Slightly better run out the turn, but the Mercedes just seems to have the grunt, even with the toe. The Porsche not able to do anything. Looks at the inside. Again, not quite able to be fair. Miltelevich giving him plenty of room, and he does. He gets the move done. Up the inside and gets the... Oh, not quite. I thought he was going to get the door closed. Not quite able to. And just manages to do it there. Great effort. Just manages to get it closed. And that's it. Miltelevich up to 2nd place. Mex back down to 3rd. So we saw those moves going into turn 1, and he's now lost it back. So... But while this squabbling is going on, Borovic has absolutely thundered away from everyone, and Borovic putting in the fastest lap of the race so far. Mex looking into turn 1 possibly, looks up the inside, really showing some intent. He's there already, they're side by side. He's got a nose in front. Oh, not quite able to do anything, gets his nose cut off again, going into turn 2. do anything here. Possibly going to get a chance to look up the inside. No, he's not. This is where the Mercedes seemed to be weaker through Sector 1. And then it sort of really came into its own, sort of Sector 2, and then the main straight. So good effort by these guys. Concolli not dropping off the back of him though. Oh, a little bit of a battle going on back here. So this is Zach and Miltelevich. And it looks like Zach has gained a position. He's pushing forward quite nicely. Again, having a little look. Is he going to be able to make a move on Minton in front of him? Big points at stake here. Obviously, less cars on track, so more points to be gained, even if you're further back. Gets hard on the brakes. Oh, I nearly thought he was going to go into the back of him there. Just managed to get it stopped in time. So BMW versus BMW. And if he's not quick, Miltelevich is going to be right back on him. Oh, mistake there. Goes onto the gravel. Loses quite a lot of time. Number 7, the Mercedes, pounding up the back of him now. He can smell blood. He knows that BMW is unsettled. Can he take full advantage? Here we go, onto the pit straight. Is anyone close enough to get the toe? Dan Minton keeping an eye on that 888 BMW. Looks like he's just far enough ahead to keep Zach out the toe. There's not enough sort of an advantage for him. For Zach, closes up into turn 1. Lovely effort there. Looks like he had a slightly better line than Zach. Oh, but then Zach going a bit deep. Can he hold it together? Has he lost a little bit of exit speed? There we go. Right. Miltelevich under attack now from... Who is this? That is Verchez. Miltelevich doing really, really well. Obviously running inside the top 10. He is our only driver within the top 10. And he's got a buffer between him and 12th place. It doesn't look like Zach's managed to get away. These guys all sort of bunching up fairly well. It's a really good livery. Really simple, but really nice. I do like that steel livery a lot. Proper smart livery in our car number 7. And again, look, he's closed right up on the back of that BMW of Zach. Car number 89, not able to get away. Really showing just how close the sort of the bands between AM drivers and pro drivers are. There's really not that much of a difference between these guys. They're running all the way out to the outside, getting back on power. Is anybody close enough to make a move? If anything, it looks like Verchez might be close enough to the back of the Mercedes. Can he make a move into turn 1? Not sure he's going to be able to, but he's certainly closing in. So we saw with Mex earlier on that he was slightly weaker through Sector 1. So are we going to see the same thing here for Miltelevich? It looks like he's holding it together, at least against the Aston Martin behind him. Oh, looking over that rear wing. Lovely shot. One of my favourite shots to use. Great big AMG engine roaring away. Oh, there it is. The Aston Martin closing up there, though. We're obviously going through Sector 2. Aston looking really well planted. Aston managing to run a fair bit more curb than anyone else as well. Looked really, really comfortable there, running a lot of curb, but still looked really well planted. Are we going to see a move here? Looks to the inside. There's a move. He's gone up the inside. Can he get the braking done, though? He's up the inside, but has he got the job completely done? No, he hasn't. Had to get the position back. Car number 7 closes the door on him again and keeps pushing forward. Oof, really thought we might get a bit of a rub there, but amazing driving by the pair of them. Verchez managing to just get on the brakes hard enough. Stop that Aston Martin. It was a great move up the inside. Like we said, we're going to see a lot of moves there. I movement over the space of the entire race. We're going to see a lot of moves at the end of that back straight. Quick update on the leader. Miltelevich has pulled out a 5-second lead in under 10 minutes. So that is an absolutely outstanding effort he's done. So that works out about 30 seconds a lap, I think. 10 minutes. Yeah.
This is race control. Lap 1, turn 5 incident between cars 89 and 888 is under investigation. 89, 888 are under investigation. Over.
Right, so race control coming in. So that's car number 888 and 89. So Dan Minton and Zach. The battle we were keeping an eye on earlier on. It must have been an incident we think we missed it. Yeah. Whatever happened, but I'm sure race control will let us know what's going on at some point. Really nice here with ISDA that you get proper live stewarding and the race control. So it comes in that realistic style as if you're watching real GT3 racing, if you're watching the World Challenge on TV, on YouTube, and you get it come through on the radios, and every racer here's race control. Not just you guys at home, not just me in the commentary booth. Every guy that's here. Oh, little look up the inside here. This is the battle for, this will be 15th position. Oh, hang on, yeah, Mil. This is the, it's the brothers, isn't it? This is Ivor, or Ivor. Hang on, let's get the name up so I don't embarrass myself. Evo, that was the one. So this is the versus 16th. That is that like, yeah, it is Langdijk. Yeah, it is. For some reason I just couldn't get my hands to work then. I do apologise. So this is car number 36. We are on board with that. At the moment, one of the BMWs chasing after yet another still Mercedes. It's great to see these guys having such decent battles, even further back down the grid in 15th. Keep a little eye on some of the other battles going on. Ooh, if we could, yeah, there we go. I was about to ask, can we cut back to this battle? Fantastic. Here we go. One of the, here we go. It's the Miltelevich brothers, and they are squabbling. Can Verchez finally make the move and get past that number 7 Mercedes? He was really, really close. There was 0.1 between them, and actually when we cut to him, I think they were all pretty much overlapping. So possibly the pressure ever so slightly starting to get. Oh, here we go, back straight. He's well within striking distance, much closer this time. In fact, he's going to have the overlap even before they hit the braking zone. Into the braking zone, he's up the inside, lovely and clean. To be fair, the Mercedes gave him quite a bit of room and nearly lost another position. Who was that? That was nearly to... yeah, that would have been Jokic. He nearly lost a position to Jokic as well. That was nail-biting stuff. We saw Verchez. He just knew he was going to get up the inside. He already had an overlap for the braking zone, then had a braking and a really nice go up the inside. Plenty of space was given by car number 7 as well, which was good to see. But he nearly, giving him the space, nearly lost another position. So really, really close call there. And it looks like he's flashing his lights going down into turn 1. I mean, maybe just to try and unsettle Verchez ever so slightly. I don't think that's going to happen. Not with these guys. A flash of the lights is not going to unsettle these boys. They are the creme de la creme of sim racing. Fast and clean racing. Some of the closest battles you will see in sim racing, and some of the cleanest racing you will see in sim racing as well. Brilliant effort by these guys. So this is the battle for 10th place. This is 10th. But that has to be said. Now that Verchez is past, that now gets rid of that buffer, and Jokic will be able to chase after the back of Marco. So interesting to see if that BMW can continue to push forward. Can the Mercedes hold on to this position? So still looking good there. Swinging it through. Oh, a little bit wide there. And the BMW now starting to have a little bit of a sniff around the back. Well, actually, to be fair though, it also looks like Noble is trying to have a look.
This is race control. Car number 89 receives a warning for causing a collision on lap 1, turn 5. Warning for car number 89, over.
Right, so just a warning coming through. No time penalties or drive-throughs put in place at this moment. Just a warning. So he's got away reasonably lightly on that one.
This is race control. Cars 84 and 447 are under investigation for lap 5, turn 14 incident. Cars 84 and 447 under investigation, over.
Okay, so another one coming into it. So kind of at 84, or that is, so that's Tonzetic and Tadic. So incident under investigation with these two. Very obscure livery on that on the BMW of Tonzetic. And actually, looking at it, obviously there was the incident between him and Tadic, and looking at the times, Tadic a long way back from Tonzetic. So pretty much the entire length of that back straight. All these cars bunching right up now as well. Who have we got here? We have got... This is... Here we go. Here's a replay. What's going on here? This is two of the McLarens. Oh, big oversteer moment. Manages to hold it together and keep himself out the barriers and off the grass too much, but that lost him a lot of time. I believe that was... Yes, running technically in last place at the moment. Goodness, sorry, I do apologise. Brezanic. So, not what he wants to go, but he still has an hour and 43 minutes to regain some positions, and this really is also going to be a race of attrition. Not just going to be a case of who can lap the fastest. Obviously, we're looking at it now, and Borovic has obviously made a massive improvement. Oh, battles going on back here in, well, this is 16th, 17th, 18th, sorry. Yeah, this is 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, all squabbling. And they were all bunched right up on the back of the Mercedes in 15th place a moment ago, but they've sort of, where the BMWs have been squabbling amongst themselves, a few of them have dropped back ever so slightly. Just having a little look at the lap times for these guys. All basically within half a second, these guys on their last laps. Incredibly close, nothing between them. Oh, here we go. Concoli currently running in 5th place. Closing in on the back of Bellato. Bellato actually, oh no, he's made some really good efforts. Bellato was definitely much further down the grid in qualifying, so he's done a real good effort, climbing his way back up through the grid. Bellato 5th, and on the back of Mex actually. We might see some change of positions, I think, in not that long a period of time. That Lexus doing really well here at Barcelona, managing to handle the 50-degree track temperature, which is absolutely bonkers. I mean, obviously, it is Barcelona. What do we expect? It's going to be hot and sunny. Nothing like the rounds we've had in the UK and then at Spa. Absolutely scorchio weather this evening. Just having a look at their lap times. And yeah, nothing between these guys as well. Really good effort. So far, so these guys So, Bellato actually qualified down in 6th place. He is slowly making his way up. I think we could see him on the podium within the next couple of minutes.
This is race control. Car number 447 gets a warning for dangerous driving and causing a collision with car number 84. Warning for car number 447. Over.
Okay, so there we go. Finding out 447 getting themselves a warning. Oh, and what's happened here? We've had a bit of a swap round, I think, back down lower in the grid. Two of the BMWs look like they've got past the... Yes, they have. Okay, so a bit of a change around. Ivo Miltelevich is down into 17th place now, and two of the BMWs have got past him, car number 228 and 36. They've both managed to get past, so that Mercedes dropping back. Slowly but surely losing a bit of ground. Not what they would have wanted to see. But still trying his best to keep pushing forward. Just having a quick look at the YouTube chat. How is Brooker getting on? When we get a chance, we will pop him on the screen and we'll find out where he is. Where is list and tell you where Brooker is. Brooker running in 14th place. Car number 130. In that yellow and black Porsche, looking like a bruised banana. He is on the back of Noble. These guys have been reasonably squabbling for a little while now, but no one's managed to make any real moves. But hanging on to the back of him, and like we said, it's how far is this race now? About just over 20 minutes of it done, and this is going to be a race of attrition. I would expect to see people pit. I'm going to presume around the hour mark is when we'll see people first pit, but it's really going to depend on whether people are going for a 1 or a 2 pit strategy, and how all the cars handle their tyres. Like we say, being an open pit strategy gives people a little bit more chance to fiddle with setups. They can run a slightly more aggressive setup if they're going to pit twice, so they can afford to wear the tyres out a bit more, and also it means they can run different fuels. Oh, what's going on up in front of these guys? There was a Mercedes going up the inside. Zach and this is Miltelevich, isn't it? Yes, it is. Marco versus Zach. BMW thundered away, I think. So this is the replay coming down into turn 1. See the Mercedes in the tow. God, really powerful on the straights, that Mercedes. Looks to the inside but isn't able to go there. The door is closed on him. Tries to go around the outside so he can hold on to the inside for turn 2. He's there. Looks like he loses out yet. Going into turn 3. Can't get the turn in there, and that throws him offline. And all that work is undone. So possibly next lap we might see a little bit more. And yeah, here we go. Actually, look at this. So coming through sector 2, just about to come onto the back straight. That Mercedes is already on the attack. Really good effort. This is Marco, here we go, on his dash. Just now coming through sector 3. Are we going to see a dive the inside of turn 1 again? We showed it to Temp last time, and Zach defended nicely, so is he going to be as obvious? Oh, look there in the chicane. Not somewhere I would have thought we would have made the pass. Who's got the better exit here? Looks like they had slightly differing lines, but still pretty equal. Is the Mercedes close enough to close in on the back of the BMW? Zach going offline, defending to the inside, trying to keep Marco out of the slip. Oh, bit of a swerve and a bit of a weave there. Car number 7 looking very unsettled in the brakes. I think he was going to try and go to the outside, and the BMW moved out to close that line off. Very, very lucky, and Marco managed to get the braking done just in time. It was very, very squirrely under braking though, and a pair of these guys losing time to the guys behind them. That is not what Marco's going to want. Marco's going to want to be pushing forward as quickly as he can. He cannot afford to hang around, because the other AM drivers of Jokic in car number 74, the BMW, is closing on the back of them while these two are squabbling. Look at the gap at the front now, 7.5 seconds for Miltelevich. Great effort by him, really pulling away. Slightly slowed on the pace of pulling away, doing a really good job. So here we are, we're on board with Birches now. This is 9th place. Looks to the inside, not quite close enough to make a move, but can he do anything here? Possibly on the exit, he might be able to. BMW looked a little bit squirrely in front. Who's going to get a better run at this final chicane? Both of them just trying to run as clean as possible. Rolling on the throttle. Who's got the better run? Absolutely flat out, and the battle behind them absolutely hotting up as well, and further back as well. Noble, here we go. So this is Zach versus Jokic. No, sorry, Miltelevich. Oh, he's done it into turn 1, round the outside. Brilliant effort, and gets it done into turn 2. Can he hold on to it through turn 3? I think he can. Yes. Oh my goodness, what a fantastic effort to go around the outside. And meanwhile, it's still hotting up a little bit further back. This pack of cars really squabbling, elbows out. Goodness gracious, really close stuff. This just starting to spread out ever so slightly. This is Jokic on the back of Brooker. Brooker doing a decent effort to hold on to the back of Noble as well.
This is race control. Car number 84 gets a warning for pushing another driver off track. Lap 6, turn 11. Warning for car number 84. Over.
Car number 84, that is Tadic, who we saw having a good old battle earlier on. So again, just a warning, no actual physical penalties put into place yet, but these warnings will mount up, and the wrath of race control will strike down upon anyone that pushes their luck too far. So far, nothing overly aggressive that sort of we've seen from the commentary booth, but these guys are the real daddies when they know what's going on. They're watching everything. Okay, coming down into turn 1, Noble going to the outside of Zach. Is he going to make it work? Oh, yes he does! He gets it done. No, he doesn't. He makes a mistake. Slightly outbrakes himself, and he's lost the position. The position's gone back, and now Brooker looking up the inside. Brooker putting mountains of pressure on the back of him. Absolutely charging forward. Great. Oh, such a daring move by Brooker there. Tried to go up the inside through Renault. Wasn't quite able to. Goodness gracious. Good effort by him.
This is race control. Lap 7, turn 10 incident between cars 68 and 102 under investigation. Cars 68, 102 under investigation. Over.
Okay, so another battle, incident under view. So that is Zikovic and Brzezinski. Yeah, so that's the old Jag. And yeah, it's the old Jag and one of the McLarens. So those guys under investigation now as well. Oh, these guys are so close, coming for that final chicane, nothing between them. Brooker managed to hold on to it. This is where the Porsche is weakest though, on these straights. He's got a big BMW sniffing around the back of him. He'll be desperate to stay. Oh, here we go. Another move up the inside. strong dive there. Oh, another move here, back a little bit further. Noble trying to go around the outside again. I'm not sure if these two got together. Hasn't been able to make the move. Trying to stick to the outside. Again, he's left himself open on the inside. Brooker looking to try and go. Almost 3 wide here. Oh, it's a little bit choppy. And trying to go around the outside there. Zach sticking to the inside, managing to hold on to it, but he is defending for his life. He is like a tourist at the seaside with chips. He is defending furiously against this pack of seagulls that are pecking at the back of him.
This is race control. Car number 68 gets 15 seconds time penalty for causing a collision with car 102. 15 seconds, car number 68, over.
So there we go. Turns out the Jaguar car number 68 picking up a 15-second penalty, so the first real-time penalty. And while all that was going on with race control, Concoli trying to get past Mex. Really, really big move up the outside going into the chicane. Wasn't quite able to make it work. Here we go. Can he continue his fight forward though? Mex doing a really, really good effort to hold off Concoli. I'm not sure the timing screen having a bit of a wobble. There we go. Now they're in the right order. Such different cars as well. Mid-engined car obviously in the Audi and not that strong on the curbs, but really, really good, sort of hanging it out the corners, and then versus the Mercedes of Mex, who makes a little bit of a mistake there going into Renault. Looks like he unsettled the car, but to be fair, I don't think Colli had the best run either. Pushing hard, about half an hour of the race done now, guys. Brilliant, brilliant effort. Again, about half an hour of the race done. A quick shout out to our sponsor, Sim Racing Pro. Give them a check out. Thank you ever so much for supporting us with this winter season, and hopefully Ford as well. Here we go. God, really, really making great moves in that Audi. Really running the curbs nicely. It could be a car that's really, really unsettled, but whatever his setup is running is absolutely fantastic. Might have to give him a shout next time I'm using the Audi, because his setup seems to be working really nicely here.
This is race control. Car number 998 gets a gets a warning for collision with car number 447 and pushing off track. Warning for car number 998, over.
So we go, another warning rolling in. And that was Tom Zetich in the 447 BMW. I believe, if I read that right. I think I did. I may not have. Apologies if I read it wrong. Okay, so Dakuza. Here we go. On board the Nissan. Great to see one of these guys out here on the track. And he is looking forward and watching Bellato and Mex squabble and hoping that these two are going to slow themselves down. Because while everything's going on, he is reeling them in. Just looking at the last laps, pretty much identical times on the last laps. His best is a little bit off of these guys, about 0.3 off. But inside the top 10, really good effort. The guy behind him's got a 15-second penalty, so he's under no threat from Kristinic at all. He's just pushing forward quite happily. It's a really good-looking car, isn't it? That GTR. Not a massive fan of the actual road car version, I'll admit. Not a massive fan of it, but looks-wise, that GT3 car just looks absolutely fantastic. Oh, here we go. Brooker, car number 130. Again, this is that stack of 4 cars that we've been watching sort of squabble for quite a while. He's doing very, very good work, is Brooker. Continuing to push forward. Not letting anyone get away from him. Noble and that Aston Martin in front of him.
This is race control. Car number 28 and 89 are under investigation for lap 17, turn 15 incident. 28 and 89 under investigation, over.
Okay, so that was the battle I think we were keeping an eye on earlier. So that's Zach and Noble. So yeah, the two leading cars in this pack. Obviously, we've seen a couple of times they've been a bit elbows out and squabbling. They're all stacking right up again. I think this could be another very frantic turn 1, turn 2 situation. That BMW really, really close to the back of Brooker this time. He's going to be in the tow, and this could be an opportunity. Down into turn 1. Yeah, he's close enough to strike. Goes to the inside. Can he get it done at the braking? No, he can't. Amazing. Brooker managed to hold on to around the outside. Has the inside for turn 2. Closes the nose off. And that big snouted BMW will have to sniff at the back of the Porsche for one more lap. And all while this is going on, Wojciech has closed up to the back of them as well. Great effort here. Genuinely thought we were going to see a move there from Jokic. I thought we were going to see him go past, but not quite able to do it. Can he do anything here? Coming towards the end of... well, yeah, just finishing off sector 1. So sector 2 now. Just about to come onto that back straight. Who's going to get the best run? Are we going to see them move here at the hairpin? I'm not sure. No, he's too far back from Brooker, I think. Oh, but there's a move going on just in front. There we go. We see that is Virtue's going up the inside. He's going to be on the outside here, though. Oh, and they rub again. Again, another collision. And Brooker, this time, managed to get his nose up the inside. Oh, looks like he had to get on the brakes pretty severely there to avoid any contact. I think he probably could have held onto his line if he just stuck with it. But I think obviously doing his very best to avoid an incident. But again, that was another rub between, and that is car number 89 and 28, isn't it? That's another rub between those guys, and we have already heard from race control that there is warnings on paper. So, oh, it's not going to take long, and here we go. Who is this? This is the orange front-ended BMW. This is Wojciech. No. Is it? Oh, and a mistake going up in front as well. There's everything going on in this group. Brooker managing to hold on to his place. Jokic managing to hold on to his place. And Wojciech also managing to hold on. Oh, they're too wide now. Going in. Oh, and finally Virtuez manages to get up the inside. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with race control. Brooker nearly losing a position as well in the background. Can he hold on to it? Yeah, runs the BMW all the way out to the outside. BMW had nowhere to go on the exit. Goodness gracious, that was some close stuff. So, is Zach going to be able to hang on to 12th position, or is he going to start dropping back now? And how much of a distance can Noble pull away? And actually Brooker already trying to go around the outside, but they're nearly 3 wide going into the hairpin. That's close. Lots of battles going on here. Everyone everywhere.
The race control, cars 28 and 89 receive a warning. Car 28 for collision, car 89 for track cut for lap 17 turn 15 incident. Over.
So there we go. More warnings coming in. I think they're trying to keep the racing clean and fair between these guys. They don't want to dissuade battles, but obviously don't want anyone to get too elbows out and dirty at the same time. So really, really well done. Some good calls coming from race control this evening. Oh, and more battles going on. Brooker trying to go around the outside as well in the front of the round there. Jokic trying to hold on to his position. Yeah, he just manages to do it, I think. It's kind of a 74, isn't it? Yes, it is. But all while this is going on, they're now 2 wide coming up here. End of Renault. Under braking. Oh, there's a slight rub. And another one. Oh dear. That's quite an incident that's just happened. I don't think anything was overly intentional, but I think that the BMW of Jokic got unsettled. Yeah, going in, he just turned in and caught the back end of that BMW, and yeah, sort of got caught up in it. think that was kind of a case of just some unlucky that Zach got caught up in that, to be honest, but not mine to call. Race Control be the ones to call that out. But car number 74 really getting the short straw there, turned in, just caught the back end of that car in front of him of Wojciech, and obviously unsettled his car, and then he was there to be collected. Oh, that might have actually been, sorry, Lunn Dyke, I think it was. It wasn't in front of him. Yeah, it was Lunn Dyke. It wasn't. Got all my BMWs wrong. Apologies, I got my BMWs all mixed up for a moment then. But car number 74 now dropped back quite a long way, so he'll be very disappointed with that. Still on the podium for Am, but was doing much better. Dakuza now, 5th place overall. Oh, here we go, got some guys coming into the pits. Bellato into the pits. So yes, possibly he is planning for a 2-stopper. I haven't seen any reason why Bellato would have gone into the pits for any other reason. So Dakuza up into 5th and chasing after the back of Concoli. Oh, Mex! Mex has dropped right back. What happened there? What happened with Mex? He's well off the pace suddenly. He is... Where is Mex running now? He's in 3rd on the timing screen, but he is definitely not in 3rd on track anymore. He's now got Concoli and Dakuza in front of him. I thought I saw a big puff of dust at some point. Yeah, he is now down in 5th. So, after a great start to the race, and obviously we saw turn 1.
This is race control, lap 22, turn 4 incident between cars 74, 228 and 336 are under investigation. Cars 74, 36 and 228 are under investigation.
Right, so that was... Who is that? What battle was that? Ah, yeah, that was... Oh, there's another incident right down at the hairpin. Oh, not great. I just caught that. Kind of a 998 spun. I'm going to get a replay on that. I do apologise. Yeah, here we go. Are we going to get to see what happened? Oh, what a big rear end shunt then from the BMW. Not what car number 998 needed there. He was already fully on the brakes and committed to the turn. BMW gave him quite the bump, so not exactly what he would have wanted. But there we go, our leader into the pits actually. I do apologise, I missed out on that. I was watching a battle unfold. So Borovec into the pits, our leader, already down into 5th place. We're expecting to see him drop down. Looking like a lot of the guys are going to be going for a 2-stop. So Concoli inherits the lead in the... the word Audi, that's the word. I knew it began with an A, I just couldn't get the words out. So it'd be interesting to see if anyone is going to go for a single stop. If Concoli can go for a single stop, then this could be game changer for him. That could just give him the lead at this point. If anyone in front of Borovec is going to go for a single stop, then that's just race 1. I can't see people being able to maintain the pace on these tyres the whole way through. Oh, here we are. This is Zach, car number 89, currently running in 8th place. He's got guys coming up behind him. He's got 9th place, sorry, as the timing board sorts itself out. He's got Dyke behind him. So looking at now, Borovec all the way down to 13th place. Big drop after that pit stop. And he's out in traffic. And obviously open pits, so apart from sort of trying to make a mental note of when people are coming in, there's no sort of on-screen visual indicator as to who's pitted and how many times. There we go, Zach coming into the pits. And obviously now, Borovec, for the first time, is going to have to deal with traffic, and it is every position, well, every overtake is 4 positions, so no one's going to let him past easy. And there you go, going into turn 1, Tadic, not not letting him through. Well, maybe a little bit of a lift off there, to be fair. He does know that Borowicz has had some insane pace. So maybe he just thought it's not worth scrobbling. Let's just let him through. Just keep an eye on the Concoli out in pole at the moment. Got himself away reasonably. These pit stops that have started to roll in have sort of cooled off the battles ever so slightly. I think a couple of guys that were really stuck mid-battle have decided, let's just get some clean air. There's actually blue flags out, so who's got a blue flag there? That is, I think that's the McLaren on a blue flag. Yes, whoa, dived right out of the way, good lord. I think you probably could have done that a little bit calmer. Oh, and nearly turns in on the BMW 84. Always a difficult one when you're under blue flag orders. You don't want to hold anyone up for too long, but at the same time you need to be predictable. You've either got to stay off the racing line permanently or stick to your racing line and just let off the throttle. Okay, so we are now. This is Marco, I believe. Yes, it is Marco Miltelevich, running in 5th place in the still Mercedes number 7. Obviously we saw his teammate, his brother, earlier on having a bit of a bump issue. But this car, our leading AM driver, doing a really, really good effort. Good look at the AM standings. So currently he was 6th overall. Got Verchez. He is a pro driver. Where is he? Running in 4th position. 6th, a 3rd, and an 11th. Here we go. Got a replay up, kind of a 69. What's going on here? I do apologise. I was looking at some points boards. Is that? Yeah, just pushed too hard. Oh, we're not able to save it. Finally, the car snaps. Oh dear. And a rubbish place to spin. What's his rejoin like? Yeah, pretty good. Everyone managed to avoid him. Oh dear, not what he would have wanted at all. Zach down in 20th place. I really thought he'd saved it. I really thought he'd managed to hold that together, and then eventually the tail just got the better of him and stepped away. Ended up in sideways in the gravel. And he's only just completed a pit stop. That's not what he wants. Fresh set of tyres, immediately take an excursion through the gravel and a big slide. The car does not look that settled at the moment, does it? It looks very, very unsettled on the front end. Saying that, having a look up the inside now. Is that? Although I think that is, who is that? That would be Verchez in front of him, I think. So this isn't full position, this is unlapping himself. Oof. This has got to be, yeah, this is Zach trying to unlap himself after his pit, and then obviously the excursion we just saw him go on through the gravel. A real awkward one, this, when you are trying to push forward and unlap yourself. He's showing some fantastic pace. I mean, Verchez was also showing fantastic pace throughout the entire race so far. Just over 45 minutes of this race done now. But after that pit, Zach showing some absolutely blistering pace. He's flashing to let him go past. You know, he's saying this isn't for position, just let me on by. But if you can't get past and then pull away from Verchez, he's then himself going to be under blue flags. Obviously being a lap down due to the pits. Another flash there on the pit straight. We're going into turn 1. What are we going to see? Is there any chance he can make a move? He's got to be really careful with what he does here. See, again, it's not technically for position. Pushing really hard in those fresh tyres. He's really going for it. Looks up the inside. Can he get it done? Yes. Verchez giving him the room. to be fair, I'm not surprised Virtus has let him through, because Zach looked very, very fighty and determined to go forwards. Really was squabbling around behind him, so might be just for the sake of survival better to do that. Guncoli now on pole, still he hasn't pitted yet. He's going to have to pit at some point in the next sort of 15 minutes, as I imagine that car will just completely run out of fuel. But if he can maintain his current pace and somehow start in front, I mean, his best is a 1:45.9, and he's currently doing 1:47s. So about to be fair, about a second off his best. And if we compare that to... Where's our man? Where's he gone? Why am I being such an idiot? Why can't I read the words? He's in 9th place, isn't he? Borowicz, who is currently doing 1:45.8. Oh, there we go. Collie, look, he just dove into the pits then. Okay, so he presumably is going to have to do a 2-stop as well. But his lap times were significantly slower than Borowicz. But that does mean now that Dakuza has inherited the lead, on board with Borowicz, who is chasing after the back of Wojciech. I believe, is that the car in front of him, or is this a back marker? 228. No, that's Wojciech. Oh, tries to get up the inside going into the final chicane. Oh, sorry, actually, no, just before the final chicane. Here it is now. Tried to get up the inside. Very, very brave to try and stick his nose up the inside there. Cody's still in the pits. So we're going to lose a position. Yeah, Cody tumbling back down the order now. Move up the inside of the turn 1. Yes, can he get it done? Not quite able to shut the door for turn 2, but he's got the inside for turn 3. Fantastic effort. Really nicely done. Great drive by him. Borowicz, another position gained, up into 8th place now. Fantastic drive by him. So this is our pole man, Dakuza. Not very often you're going to see one of these Nissan GTRs on pole these days. Let's be brutally honest, not an overly popular car, got a very simplistic aero package, similar to the Lexus in that respect. So quite heavy on the tyres. He will be pleased to see that the track temp has actually dropped by 3 degrees.
This is race control. Cars 36 and 228 get a warning for causing a collision with car 74 on lap 22, turn 4. Warning for cars 36 and 228. Over.
So cars 36 and 228 picking up penalties. I believe that was, if I have a quick run through my numbers, 228 was Wojciech, and I can't see the number, I'm being really blind, and Van Dijk, wasn't it? Yes. Okay, so that would have been turn 4, that would have been that incident we caught earlier on. So just warnings coming in for these guys at the moment, nothing too punishing. But again, your name is on a blacklist when you've got a warning, and race control will drop the hammer on you if you make too many mistakes. They want you to battle cleanly, and they obviously want you to battle, but you've got to be sensible.
This is race control. Cars 74 and 998 under investigation for lap 23, turn 10 incident. Cars 74, 998 under investigation. Over.
Okay, so that was that hairpin bump that we saw earlier on, the Mercedes car number 998 of Ivo Miltelevich. We saw him get a bump up his bum earlier on. Obviously spun him round. Under investigation. I would imagine something will come of that. Dakuza on his dashboard at the moment, making an absolutely fantastic effort, and there we go, finally coming into the pits. Is he going to get on the brakes in time? Yes, he does. Thank goodness. I thought we were going to see a moment where he just drove in at full speed. Right, Kristinic, there we go, Igor Kristinic, my apologies, up into pole position at the moment. 30 laps of this race done, 55, well, just about 55 minutes of this race done, so nearly halfway there. And it's all starting to settle in quite nicely at this point. Trying to see who is our closest guys. Our leader. Oh, here we go. So this is Miltelevich and Tadic. And it's the battle for 9th place. Oh, little look up the inside of the turn one. That BMW's just got the legs, managing to pull away slightly. Can he get anything under braking? Big dive up the inside. Oh, overcooks it. Big slide. Both of them going very, very carefully to try and avoid an incident. Fair play. That was very, very close. So here we go. The Porsche gets on the brake, outdoes himself. Big slide, and even though you see the BMW really checks up, he doesn't think the Porsche is going to be able to keep it all the way to the left, to the left-hand side. So I think that flash of the lights was more to say, thanks for slowing down, mate, and thanks for not crashing into me, sort of thing. That was really, really close. Brilliant drive by the pair of them. That's really, really good racecraft there. You know, Tadic, you wouldn't have blamed him for keeping his toe in and really, really pushing to try and get away. But fair play, he read the situation really well. Amazing driving by Miltelevich to keep that car to the left-hand side. I can't believe he managed to hold it together, managed to get the car stopped. But again, now at the end of the back straight, on the brakes, up the inside again. Can he hold it together a bit better this time? Goes a bit too deep. And the BMW regains the position. So Miltelevich just pushing a little bit too hard at the moment. Maybe just needs to regain his thoughts. Because that's twice now he's gone for the braking zone and slightly overcooked it. Is he trying to get a better run here? Yes, trying to get every ounce of speed he can. He knows he needs to be right on the back of that BMW, and my goodness, is he right on the back of the BMW going onto the pit straight. My goodness.
This is race control. Car number 74 gets 20-second time penalty for causing a collision with car 998, lap 23, turn 10. 20 seconds for car number 74. Over.
So there we go, race control, bringing down the hammer on that one. Yeah, that was the issue we saw earlier on. That was at the hairpin. So car number 74, we saw him bump the back of car number 998 and spun him round. Oh, and while we were talking about that, looks like Miltelevich has managed to make the move and has pulled past Tadic. Brilliant effort, and he's really, really pulling away. My goodness, is he pulling away now. Absolutely fantastic. Quick note that Borovic is up into 5th again. Oh, bit of a squabble going on here. This is... I can't see what that is. Oh, there we go. Lovely, straight past him. So this is Borovic versus Dan Minton. Dan Minton letting Borovic through without too much hesitation there, I think. Oh, big flash of the lights coming on to that pit straight. Waving to the fans. See Dan Minton doing really, really well out the other day. Car number 998, Dan Minton into turn 1, looking really nicely planted there. All the way through Renault. A quick look, Dan Minton actually 2nd in the championship in the pro category with 63 points. Had a 2nd, a 1st and a 4th place, so a 5th place isn't a bad effort, but he is currently not outscoring his rival Vetch. But the pair of them are still outscoring 3rd place. Triple stack of Concoli, Verchez and Miltelevich. So those guys all slightly further back. Just have a quick look now at who out of those guys is furthest up the track. Mikic is... Well, Kristanic, who is on pole. I don't think he's pitted yet. Kristanic has not pitted yet, has he? No, he hasn't. He has got a 15-second penalty to contend with, so not going to work overly in his favour, but I presume, looking at this pit strategy, he's going to try and go for a single stop. Look at it. Still at 147s. His best is a 146. It's a high 147 his last lap, but still, it's not a bad effort compared to others around him. Verchez into the pit. So Kristanic looks like he's going to be one of the only guys going for a single stop strategy. So is it all going to come into his favour? I think. Oh, who we got here? Mex. Oh, we got Mex, who's dropped right down the order, hasn't he? Yeah, he was up in third place at the beginning. Oh, and he gains a position there. So hasn't had to battle for long. What's that? That was Evo jumps into the pits, giving way to Mex as he thunders down the main straight on his dash now as they come into turn 1. Bunches through those curbs. AMG, fantastically planted car. Can feel a little bit sort of washy with understeer. Oh, and a mistake there from the McLaren in front of him, which is a back marker. That's not the position. I don't think either of the cars in front of him are actually for position. I'm not sure. Is that Tadic possibly up in front? And there we go. The McLaren moving out the way for him, as Max continues to try and claw back some of his lead. Said he had a great qualifying and a great couple of first laps, but then was dropped away. Currently running just inside the top 10. Oh, rounding out the top 10. Who is this in front of him? That is Tadic in front of him, isn't it? Yeah, kind of at 84, I believe. Am I being completely idiotic? No, I'm not, and he moves out of the way, actually. There you go. Max takes the position, goes up the inside. Great move by him. I'm surprised he moved out of the way so far. To be fair, Tadic had a lap, a 152 his last lap. So, is he still warming up? Ooh, Verchez has popped up with a stop-go 30-second penalty. Ooh, and there we go. Borovec coming to pole. It's all starting to move now. Kristanic finally pitted. So just having a quick look, race control putting up some facts and figures in the YouTube chat for you guys to have a little bit of a look at as well. Well, this is our second place man, Dan Minton, who's made it past Noble, or is Noble on the attack? I should know, but I don't. Looking at times, I'm going to say that Noble is on the attack of Dan Minton. Noble, another car that I'm not sure has pitted yet, because he was definitely outside the top guys earlier on. So he's made some real efforts to push further forward. Dan Minton didn't do fantastically in qualifying either. But all these guys are still pushing really hard. Minton and Noble squabbling. It does look like Minton is starting to get the gap though. Just trying to see where people are coming out. Who is this coming into the pits? There's a BMW coming into the pits. Looks like it was running out on the curb. Tadic into the pits. From 8th place, he was our leading AM driver. He's come into the pits. Dan Minton under attack from Noble now. So looking at the times, they're both currently running high 148s. So not the quickest laps, especially compared to Borovec, who's been putting in 146s, low 146 on his last lap. So Borovec obviously very, very keen to start moving away from the back again. Dan Minton is certainly being chased now by Noble. Sort of concertinaing this sort of, you know, going in and out a little bit, this bit of an accordion. Minton managed to pull away far enough to secure himself enough of a gap where he's not having to go defensive whatsoever and keep pulling away. Quick track temp update, it is now dropped 4 degrees, it's down to 46, so going to be interesting going into this second half of the race of what people do with their setups when they're pulling in. Probably going to have to start tweaking the tyres. Noble finally into the pits. Okay, so Noble in as well now. He went a really long way on a single stint. Fair play to him. That was a big effort. He probably was running on fumes, I would presume. I'm still not sure if Minton has pitted. I'm sure he has. Again, as an open strategy, you can't see on my screen who has pitted and who hasn't. That's the only downside to an open strategy. But it opens it up to single stops and 2 stops. So really cool to see people trying some different things. Some guys going for singles, sometimes some guys going for doubles. Borovec, obviously, as we said, going for the double stop, and it seems to be working quite nicely for him at the minute. If others do not pit a second time, then it could all start being a bit messy. Verchez in the pit for his stop go 30. So as time rolls on, in-game time is 4:15, so it's going to be just after 5 o'clock when we see the checkered flag in-game time. Interested to see how quickly the temperature drops off here. So it's already at 46 degrees. That's a drop of 4 degrees. Oh, there's that McLaren off track again, giving way. Really not going well for him this evening. That is going into the pit. Is that his first pit, or yeah, here we go. You see him off the track before that chicane. I think that was intentional. He's been at the back of the grid for a little while, just not going his way this evening. Is Schoenrich. So I'm not sure if that is a pulling into the pit's retirement or whether that is a planned pit. Oh, that stop-go penalty is decimating Verchez. But while all that's been going on, the battle for 13th place is heating up. Or 12th place, so this is Zach versus Wojciech. That's fine, yeah, go for it. So we will be being joined very soon. Who have we got? Who is that coming in? Alex. Oh! Happened there. There was a mistake. Someone made a big mistake. I think it was Zach. Went miles off. He's backwards. Was that on his own, or was there an incident? This was pretty close battle. He's out to the outside. Oh, and he gets the smallest nudge. Oh dear, in the braking zone. Not what he would have wanted. Looks like the car stalled. He managed to get it started again. Oh, that's an interesting camera shot. There we go. It finally caught up. Oh dear. So Jokic picks up, he's got a 20-second penalty, hasn't he, as well? But Zach dropping back behind Jokic now. Not what he would have wanted. That was a real shame. So again, not necessarily the most overly malicious. God, that BMW does not look right, does it? It looks very unsettled. Look at it power sliding through turn 3 there. What does it look like through turn 4? Looks reasonable.
This is race control, lap 37, turn 13, incident between cars 89 and 228 under investigation.
So there we go, the incident we just watched on the replay. There we go. Finding out a little bit more of what's going on there. Race control will be looking into it. So we saw that bump. And we saw earlier on that the penalties were pretty swift and fierce for rear end bumps. So are we going to see a similar thing? And now Zach is... Who is that actually behind him on track? It's one of the Porsches. Can't quite see the racing number on it. Wait for my eyes to sort themselves out. Typically the wing is blocking it out. I think that might be our man Borovec up in pole. Yes, it is. This is our pole man coming up behind him. I imagine the BMW will mind out the way on the pit straight and let that car through, because he will be under blue flags, and the last thing you want to do is hold up the leader of the race. I'm surprised what I would expect is maybe the BMW to just let off the throttle ever so slightly coming into this braking zone. There we go. I doubt he's going to really push for it. He's not for position. There we go. Stays out the way, lets the Porsche come through. Nice, clean, predictable, safe maneuver there. Yeah, and again, see, that BMW just looks like it is a little bit unsettled. Just doesn't seem to be able to keep it as planted as he could in his first stint. So I think going off. Yep. Can you hear us?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Fantastic. How is it all going?
I'm having fun watching the race.
A couple of incidents going on. So we've seen a lot of warnings coming out this evening, and a couple of penalties, predominantly warnings. Any reasoning behind the warnings as opposed to dropping penalties straight away?
As we're just comparing. I mean, we're always comparing to other incidents. They are behaving pretty well tonight. The warnings, when we issue warnings, is usually because we say, okay, it's not acceptable, but nothing wrong happened or nothing really bad happened, so it's not worth a penalty. Still, we want to warn drivers for misleading behavior. But that's probably the reason we've been doing more warnings than usual. The grid is a little bit we've got less drivers tonight, so that's probably helping with the incidents.
I think that definitely helped with lap 1. There wasn't quite so many cars all stacked up at once, was there, through that first couple of laps. Yeah, but it has been pretty clean, I think, so far. Like we said, seen a couple of incidents, but nothing horrific. We haven't seen the entire field, and the safety car hasn't had to come out, so that's a big bonus, not having to drag the safety car out. Although I imagine you guys are all there waiting desperately to be able to cool it out and keep you guys busy. But outside of racing incidents, what is your opinion on the 2-stop versus 1-stop strategy?
I've been always looking for more. I've been always looking for more for 1-stop than 2 in this category in specific, because no matter fast you are, it's still pretty difficult to overtake with these cars and this category with the GT3 cars in general. But I guess the Porsches decide to do the 2 stops. I'm actually looking at the statistics on my screen, and I could see that the 3 Porsches they are doing the 2 stops. So probably because they burn more the rear wheels with that rear engine, they are doing the 2 stops. I guess that's a possibility alongside the tag temperatures for sure. And we've got, sorry, I'm gonna tell you what we've got more on the 2 stops. We've got, sorry, I can see, okay, we've got Max on the MG on P5. We've got Berlat on the Nexus within P4. That Minton actually didn't stop yet, which is a surprise for me. He's
just come in now, I think, isn't it? Someone just get
now, yeah. So one hour
really
and
long
15 minutes, yeah.
That's a really long drive. Oh yeah, he's in the pits now. I'm amazed that BMW had that much fuel. He must have been running quite a fuel-saving map, I would suggest, to be able to go that far without running out of fuel. I mean, unless that car just runs on air. I mean, don't have that much experience with the new M4 BMW, obviously being quite a new car. But that's some really good going.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I've got the chance to try the M4 and it doesn't burn as much fuel as you would think. Compared with other cars, it's probably one of the. You can't compare it with the Ferrari, for example.
Okay. It's good to see people sort of trying to, well, really stretching out. I mean, he'll really be able to go for a single stop and should still have reasonably fresh tyres towards the end of the race. Be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to the rest of the grid. He's already dropped down a fair bit. Oh, I think he's coming out the pits already, is he not? So he's currently saying he's 9th on the grid.
For me.
Yay!
He's P12, yeah.
Yeah, P12. I mean, that's not bad though. I mean, for he's just completed a stop. And if that's his only stop, then that's he puts himself in quite a strong position, I think, towards the end of the race. We've already seen him right up by the sharp end of the field after everyone else did their first 2 stops. So this might be a little bit of a clever move from Dan Minton if his tyres can hold out long enough. That's going to be the main thing, is if he can go another 43 minutes. Oh no, to be fair, he should be able to do it. He's done his hard graft. I think Dan Minton could be a bit of a surprise here. I mean, obviously we know he is second overall in the pro class. But this could really throw a spanner into Borovich's plan. So I wonder if we're going to see possibly a bit of a change up here, especially when that second pit stop comes for everyone else. He's really going to gain some positions back. As long as he can stay out of trouble, that's going to be the main thing, because he's got traffic to deal with now.
Actually, we've got Brooker in the pit lanes, one of the 3 Porsches, and he's gonna do his second stop. Yeah.
He's already doing his second stop. My goodness. Okay.
Yeah, it's 42 to 43 to the end. Probably one extra more lap, but I don't. The Porsches can do 1 hour. I mean, not easily, because that's why they're doing 2 stops. But it's not gonna be a matter of fuel. It's gonna be a matter of tires.
I wonder if some of the guys with the Porsches, like you were saying, obviously Borovich obviously did his 2 stops, because they run better with a bit more fuel in them, don't they? Otherwise, when they get a bit low on the fuel tank, the front end can get a bit light and you suffer with understeer. So I wonder if they're also going for the 2-stop strategy, so they can maintain a more level amount of fuel, so they're not having to go full tank to empty, and the car really changing the handling conditions, as I have sort of heard quite a few people complaining that when the Porsche is full of fuel, drives really nicely. When it gets empty, can't get 2 off, and then a return to the pits. Sorry, what happened there? That was the final turn, I believe. Oh no, or was it turn 1? What are we looking at here? Currently got the replay of him coming down the pitch straight towards turn 1. So we'll give you guys a step-by-step on that one as he comes into the braking zone. Oh, completely misjudges it in turn 1 and goes straight on, gets the car stopped, but then just returns to the pits. Whether or not that's him done, I'm not sure, but looked like he made a bit of a mistake on his brake, a little bit too much curb on the outside, on that left-hand side, and just went a bit too deep, ended up in the gravel. looks like he's still currently there. And he is dropping down the order while he sat there in the pit. What on earth is all going on? Dan Minton is now sniffing around the back of the top 10, I believe. It looks like he's catching up with the back of Wojciech. Yes, he is. So catching up with the back of car number 228, orange fronted BMW. Dan nearly.
Sorry, this is actually the good thing about like making the first pit stop long enough. As long as you've got free air and just push till your tank just dries up. Now, for example, the car in front has 12 minutes of all the tires, so 12 minutes probably 6-7 laps, and that's actually a good amount of laps of difference between the tires of the both BMWs. So it would be actually be easier for Dan Minton to make the overtake.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if Dan could get the move done. He might actually get it done here into the hairpin coming up pretty soon. He's within closing distance. And again, like we were saying, with a long race of 2 hours, sometimes it is a bit of a race of attrition, and you might find that Wojciech just decides to give up the position rather than risking anything too much, battling too hard. Although saying that, sticks to his racing line, goes up the inside. Dan will have to stay behind him for a little bit longer. Not many places to make moves now until really turn 1, unless there's a mistake from Wojciech, but I doubt there's going to be any. He's been pretty consistent the whole night through. Obviously we saw him getting into some squabbles earlier on, but after the pit stops everyone's split up and spread out a little bit now. Not quite such a good run for Dan though. Looks like he lost him through that final turn. He's not going to be close enough to realistically be in the tow, so he might miss out on opportunities here into turn 1. I don't think he's going to be close. Oh, here we go. More pit stops. Borovec, our leader, coming into the pit. Bellato in the pit as well. Yes, he's not close enough to make a move, but really closing up through one. He is still driving an aggressive line. He's trying to push forward. Gets on the throttle a little bit earlier. Short shifts to keep the power. Can he do anything here? Wojciech. That was me saying, let him past. Like you said, he got older tyres. How long realistically do you think he can keep up this aggressive defence?
It's gonna be hard for him. Not because, I mean, it's easy to defend as long as you don't. You have to focus on doing your lines and not overpush yourself on missing a break or doing a silly mistake. But because we're actually, how many degrees we are on the track now? 47, 48?
It's down to 44 degrees on the track.
44 right now. It's really, yeah, but it's still really hot. So I would expect the tires, as they go more worn out, to be actually extremely difficult to manage or drive the car. But let's see how it keeps going.
Bit of a change up here. We're now on board with Noble trying to get up the inside of Langdijk. Yes, into turn 1, gets the move done. Straight up the inside of him. Brilliant move, really cleanly done. Oh, stop, go.
This is race control. Car number 228 gets 30 seconds time penalty for causing a collision with car 89. 30 seconds for car number 228. Over.
Oh, there we go. So, penalties coming in now. Car number 228 picking up a big old penalty, and that is this late in the race. There's not much coming back from that, I would imagine. Not what Miltelevich is going to want at all. Oh no, wait, that wasn't. That was Check picked up the 30-second penalty. That wasn't it. I got my numbers wrong. Yes, I did. Yeah, because Miltelevich must have picked that up in the pits, I presume, from speeding the pit lane, and then Wojciech's picked up that 30-second penalty. So there we go. I mean, Dan Minton immediately, without fighting, picks up another position. So as much as he's trying to chase after the back of Wojciech now, he, apart from just to beat him on the track. He doesn't even really need to make another position. He doesn't need to get this position. He can just wait, as long as he's not being slowed down too much.
I have actually an update for you.
Oh dear.
We're focusing. I'm talking about the first number to Filip Borovic, sorry. So the P1 now virtually he's have to make another stop at P2 now. Dakusa there with the Nissan. He's 14, 15 seconds ahead. 16, 17 actually. So he's 17 to 18 seconds ahead. Philip needs to make that gap down of 17 seconds in the next 35 minutes. I'm not sure if he's had the pace to do that. It's gonna be interesting to be looking at as well.
Yeah, I mean, right at the start of the race, I think it was like nearly 30 seconds a lap, he was doing 1 point quicker than everyone else. Oh, there's a replay coming up now. It's a quick one. So this is the Lexus going into turn 1. Up the inside. Yeah, great dive. That's the move done. Car number 14. Yeah, great move by him. So, do apologise for cutting you off briefly there. And a quick one. While we've been looking at all these battles going on, saying that there's a possibility that he might be able to get past Wojciech, and he doesn't immediately ruined his chances there. Just trying to see who's there. So a drive-through of Dan Minton's. I'm going to presume that was a track limits thing. I haven't heard race control say about it. You probably better. Yeah,
I can confirm it. For
tell me. Probably tell me more precisely. Ah, dearie me. So yeah, obviously. He's just pushing a bit too hard and picked up a few too many warnings. So
we've got the stop and go 30 seconds for missing the entry or the exit of the pit lane for mixed stage. Alright.
Right, okay. So that's going to put him down a fair bit as well. There you go, Dan Minton coming in for his drive-through. Not ideal for him. Like we said, he just managed to get back inside the top 10 after all the pit stops, and then this has happened. So with 33 minutes left of this race, that's pretty damning for him. I'd be very, very surprised if he can get himself inside the top 10. Although, to be honest, who's this? This is car number 89 and 998 coming past him. Yeah, so he's going to be right down the order, isn't he, by the time he comes out? He's going to be 13th, 14th place, I think. Not great for him at all. He'll be disappointed with that. He'll be really, really disappointed. Oh, battle's going on here. So this is Zach and Miltelevich down into turn 1. Mercedes to the inside. Oh, there's contact. The Mercedes did not get himself stopped and was a little bit wide of the apex. I imagine you're going to be busy in a moment discussing that one in the older race control. It looked like he tried to get to the inside and just outbraked himself slightly and gets past Zach. But I would not be surprised if that one gets a little bit of a look at. Mex into the pit now as well. So that's his second stop complete. And once Mex is out of the way, we'll be able to see Dakusa versus Borovic on the timing board, and we'll have a real idea of how close they realistically are. Are we excited to see a Nissan win? Because I kind of really feel like it's the kind of car you don't see at the front of the grid all that often anymore. Oh, Minton, after completing his pit stop.
I would love to see a Nissan on the podium. Well, he's gonna probably, I mean, he's got the chances to get on the podium and to win the race. He's gonna have to defend hard because I thought Borovic had that speed, but he's cutting more than 1 second per lap right now. So yeah, he's gonna catch up Dakusa at some point.
Yeah, do you think Dakusa's going to keep his elbows out and try and defend, or is he going to let Borovic through and just be happy to maybe be on the podium? I say, yeah, looking at the times, 1:47s from Dakusa and mid 1:45s from Borovec. So yeah, that's a big old difference.
I'm sure he's gonna play it smart. I'm not gonna say he's gonna let Borovec by, but let's say if it's 5 to 10 minutes, sorry, till the end of the race, he's gonna try to defend. But if he catches by 15 minutes, I'm probably sure he's known that he's gonna get overtaken anyway, so he's probably let Borovec by and try to not lose any time more than losing P1, but at least not losing P2. He will see.
Yeah, always that thing, you think to yourself, they'll make the smart decision, and then when you're actually out there on the circuit and someone's behind you, and that red mist descends and you think, no, I can do it, I can hold on, and you're watching your lap times plummet, but sometimes you just can't help yourself but to keep defending. Kristinic, who is 4th place, coming up behind the back of Marco. So Marco's teammates had some mixed fortunes this evening. Had a couple of bumps. Obviously, we saw that big one at the end of the back straight coming into the hairpin. Big rear ender that we saw earlier on, which was one of the largest penalties we saw dealt out this evening, I think, for that one. Yeah, and I don't think he's within striking distance. I'd be surprised if he can actually do anything here. Doubt he can. Nope, not able to. Not able to make a move here, so it's going to be maybe into turn 1. We might see a little bit of a move from Kristinic, but possibly not. Right, we'll look and see what the timing board is going to say between D'Couza and Borovec in a minute. Who is this in? This is Mick into the pits. At that time, it's down to just over 11 seconds between D'Couza and Borovec. I would say almost certainly that D'Couza is going to be under attack within the next 10 to 15 minutes. I can't see him managing to hold on to first place to the end. If he does, that is an amazing effort and fair play for making the single pit work. That's if he's got his tyres and fueling right. You know, I'm sure we've all seen it a couple of times. People get right near the end of the race and then suddenly they're in the pits because they made a slight mistake. During practice they were using a certain amount of fuel, and then actually during the race when they're pushing hard end up using a little bit more. We've all seen mistakes. I don't know if you have any personal experience doing it. I know I've done it at Spa in the past where I made a mistake and ran, I think, half the amount of fuel I needed, which was very embarrassing, as I was very pleased, as I was like, oh, I'm doing really well, and then suddenly realised, why have I got no fuel left? And made a mistake.
I guess for thank goodness for me, I've been realising in time when that happened to me, so I've never had to actually stop to refuel. But yeah, it happens. Like, you want to go on the limit with the fuel to have the skills, and you then actually let's say this because it's very close. Oh, okay, you know, there comes a side. It's between Minton and Thatch, right?
Yeah, it is indeed. Minton trying to go around the outside. Can he hold on to it? He's going to have the inside for the next turn. He's there. Hard on the brakes. Unless kind of a 998 can do it. No, he can't. There you go. Minton passed and got himself a decent little gap straight away. Great drive by him there. Managed to get on the power. I think actually through Renault, the Mercedes looked like it unsettled itself, like just on entry. So I think it just unsettled him enough where he lost position, and Minton able to just scoop it up, take it away from him. So back up into 12th. There was me saying he might not get back inside the top 10. I may end up eating my words. I think he may be able to get himself back inside the top 10 by the end of this. So we are on board with Max, currently running in 9th place. He is going to pick up a position because of Wojciech's 30-second penalty. I would almost certainly say he'll gain a position there. And he is hanging on to the back of Bellato, who in turn is also battling with Wojciech. So this could be a little bit of a three-way squabble, or Mex might be able to jump past the pair of them at once. Who knows? Here they come. Really difficult corner this. It's always one of those corners that really catches people out. It's slightly off camber, you've got that rise just as you come off the exit, you're trying to get on the power as much as possible. It just catches people out. Bellato looking really racy now. A little look up the inside there. Is he going to try and make a move under the... Nope, not quite. Decides to back out, just stick to his line. But right up the back of Wojciech, and this could be a position change at the end of the back straight. But he's going to have to be careful. Wex is also looking to attack. Anything here? A little bit of a look at the inside, not close enough. Wojciech gets the braking done at the very last second and manages to hold on to his position.
We're talking actually, let's remind the viewers right that we're talking about BA now. Bellato is on the fresher tires, the two-stop strategy, and the front has a BMW which have done one stop. Yes. So we're against two-stop behind against the one stop on the front, and he's going to try to overtake on the inside. He's looking on the inside. There's contact and spins out. Shame.
Oh, that just looked a little bit like, I'm not sure if maybe Bellato went slightly deeper than he intended. Oh, here we go. We'll see it again. I almost thought Wojciech was actually going to give him the position. He went out quite wide and looked like under braking he was nowhere near as aggressive as Bellato. I thought he was almost letting Bellato through, but no, he then carried on and cut back in for his racing line. So again, race, you guys probably will have to discuss that one as well. I'm obviously not sure as far. I don't like to get too involved in the commentary booth. I like to be fairly even. But Mex gains a position from that squabble. He managed to keep himself out of trouble, which was good. Could have been very easy to get caught up in that spinning Lexus. Luckily, I think he's going to lose it here. Unsettled as he came off. Move on. Good run, the Mercedes all the way to the outside. Round. The brake kit.
Yeah, it's team. Yeah, I'm gonna team is cut a little bit. I'm gonna team. No, yeah, just try to fix. Just look into it. I'm gonna go ahead and comment it for a little bit till we have this fixed. The person on the inside, no, he's not gonna go for it. Andrew Brooker on the B14 with the two-stop. They're doing all the pushes. Just looking on the inside. This is gonna be a chance for the boys as well. I don't know if they're going side by side. No, he's gonna have to back off because he's probably a little bit too. But he's going to take in the inside. We got a little bit, fell a little bit asleep, and the Porsche got that moved on in the end, and that's B13 for him.
I do apologise about that. I don't entirely know what happened. Internet just suddenly decided to completely drop out on me for a moment there. So
now.
Sorry, I was watching and I was talking away, and then suddenly I was like, hang on, everything suddenly stopped on my screen, and then I had a little icon come up saying that no internet access apparently. So yeah, there we go. Not sure what happened for a couple of seconds there, as I could still hear you guys loud and clear, but apologies for that. What did I miss in those 30 seconds that I was away?
It was actually a good overtake. I think the BMW, it was between P14 P15, between Zach and Brooker. I think the attack by the Porsche wasn't good enough, but somehow the BMW got a little bit steep, and Porsche managed to stick to the move and got the position.
Lovely done, well done. Dakuza, he's already in trouble, isn't he? At this point, you can see, what is it, 2 seconds between these guys. He's going to be in trouble, I think, very, very soon. Within a couple of laps, I would say, we're going to see that position change. Borevich all over the back of him. He's well within striking distance, isn't he? There's definitely going to be a move. Looking like Kristinich is very close to the back of Miltelevich as well, I think. Just looking at the timing screen anyway, I mean, that looks like it's fairly close, but this is probably the one to watch as we are now anyway. Yeah, Borevich really starting to close up. Do you think that is just down to driver pace, or do you think it's really coming down now to tyre degradation after the single stop versus the two-stop strategy?
Of course, it's going to be time difference. Remember when I told you it's going to be, if it were to be 5 to 10 minutes, he had a chance to fight it. To be honest, he can afford to fight it a little bit, because the P3, the MG of car number 7, Miltelevich, is a little bit way behind, but I don't think he's not gonna let him pass, but I don't think he's gonna defend really hard for that position.
I mean, there's, like you said, there's quite a decent gap, but it would do himself a disservice to over-defend, wouldn't it, at this point? But, you know, second place on the podium is far better than possibly dropping right off the podium if he fights too hard. Let's just minimise that. I mean, he's managed to hold on to it for a little bit longer, though. He's not dropped off quite yet. He's still there, although, there we go, through sector 1. It's really looking like the Porsche right up on the back of him. Is he going to come up the inside through Renault? He's got the inside, possibly the turn 4.
Oh, Dennis is going wide. He pushed the car, he saves it.
Big slide. I'm amazed he manages to hang on to that and didn't end up in the gravel. I think that's about as good as that incident could have possibly gone for him. Looked like he just outdid himself, tried to turn the car in, and those older tyres are really starting to show their wear. So compared to Borevich, who is just thundering on. That car has been on rails all evening. Just looks so dominant from the very beginning. I mean, obviously we saw, I think it was lap 1, turn 1, we saw him lose the position to Mex going 3 wide. Oh, there we go. Bellato going past Vujek into turn 1, gets it done. A little bit of driving there. So here we go. See him on the replay, under braking. Lovely job. Gets it done. And Vujek nearly in the room this time.
He got it right this time.
I think both drivers sort of knew what was going on a bit better this time, and they managed to go through. So it's a bonus when you see it happen like that. Much nicer to see cars go through cleaner. Oh, here we go. So this is Kristinich versus, this is Marco, I believe. Yes, it is. So car number 7 versus car number 3. And again, another battle hotting up. Oh, and he does, going past him, coming down the pit straight. Oh my goodness, the Mercedes straight in there, trying to get straight back in the toe, trying to go around the outside. Be very interesting to see if he can do and hold on to it into turn 2. There's still a slight overlap. Yes, he does. He's going to have to give it up for turn 3 though. Yeah, couldn't hold on to it through turn 3 as well. I mean, that was always going to be a real hard task to ask that Mercedes to stick to the inside. But I'm amazed he managed to keep the car planted and defend through turn 2 like he did. And he's not letting him get away quite yet. But Kristinic will be very happy with that. Up into 3rd place, gets himself the last slot, and he does finally push the AM class outside the top 3. Actually, just noticed 3 AM class racers all inside the top 10, so really good effort by those guys to be up there slugging it with the pro drivers. But Kristinic showing why he is a pro and getting through. Just have a little look at the gap. Dakuza back to Kristinic is 25 seconds. So looking at lap times, they're reasonably equal at the minute, but obviously that was Igor was battling, so it'll be the next couple of laps we'll get to see realistically what sort of times people are putting in. But Dakuza already dropped back 3.7 seconds. Obviously, we saw him go off compared to Borevich, so that immediately would have dropped him back. Ooh, who have we got here? We have the battle for 16th place. So 16th place is... Oh, it's the old Jaguar, isn't it? Yes, it is. My eyes were deceiving me for a moment. So that is Zikovic versus Tonzetic. So coming down into turn... Oh, no, away from them. Do apologise. Oh, it's the number 12 going off again, isn't it? I think that's the back marker. He has been giving way a few times. Oh, there we go. There was a little bit of a battle through turn 1. And it looks like Tonzetic has just managed to get past and has now pulled quite a decent gap over car number 447. No, I'm looking at that completely wrong. Car number 68. So the old Jag dropping away now. Do you know if the car 68 is on a single stop or a 2-stop? I can't remember off the top of my head. Because he's been a bit further down the grid.
He's done 1 stop and he's 45 minutes on the tires now. So yeah, he stopped roughly on the hour marker.
So, I mean, we never really overly expect the older Jag to be up at sharp end of the field. I think he's pretty much in a similar place to where he started. Sort of, it was further down the grid, but still battling on.
Yeah, he's getting 4 positions. We've got some retirements. We started the 23 cars on the grid, I think. And now he was 21st. Quali with his small 17th for focus game, but still way down to the grid.
I think he's actually, I suppose, in his class as well, obviously due to the slightly reduced grid this evening, he is right. So he's 6th in class, which is not bad at all. That's a really good effort. Oh, who's that going up the inside of him? That is one of the Aston Martins. Who was that just went up the inside from there? I should be able to get it up on my screen. Was that Noble that just went past him? Yes, it was. It was Jamie Noble. So he would have been under blue flags at that point, and Jamie Noble has whizzed on past and is currently tearing away from him. A little bit of an update on the front of the grid. Borevich still pulling away out in front, but Kristinic not really gaining on the back of Takuza that quickly. Still around 25 seconds last time the timing board updated itself. So if Takuza can carry on as he is, he does have the opportunity to come away with second place overall. The last lap times were within 100th of a second of each other. So quite possibly going to see Takuza take second place. If he can...
I can tell you, the last lap for Takuza was 47.3, Kristinich 47.4, Miltelevich 47.7, so he's not, I mean, he's going slower than Norwich because he's on the position on the two-stop, but he's not going slower than the cars behind, so he's gonna comfortable if he keeps this pace, he's gonna be comfortable on its position right now.
Yeah, I think the only person behind him going quicker I can see is Max, but he's all the way down his 6th. I believe you are being summoned by Mally. He is after you again. So just
I need to
before he comes and lips you. Thank you ever so much for joining us in the booth for a little while this evening. Much appreciated, and always a really good insight to speak with race control and get an idea of what's going on with you guys.
Yeah, still worth to be precise, but yeah, it's been a pleasure. See you around next chance we've got, right?
I'm sure we'll speak after the race. Thank you ever so much.
See ya.
Right, so on board with Kristinich, running in 3rd place, car number 3, doing a great effort to keep himself up by the pointy end of the field. A little bit further back, Max is just making his way through some back markers. Some real nice racing going on. Everyone's spaced out reasonably now. Obviously, just over 1 minute and 50. 1 hour 50 of this race done. Just over, yeah, there we go. Just over 9 minutes left of this race. The last 2 hours have shot past. Track temperature is down to 45 degrees, so only 5 degrees less than it was when we started. So nothing too drastic. Having a look at penalties and such. Just having a look now. So Wojciech still running a 30-second penalty, and Jokic is running a 20-second penalty. So still a couple of cars back there. Keeping an eye on Brooker at the moment. So running in 13th place, and he's got one of the Miltelevich brothers in front of him. Which one is that? Which one of the brothers is it? It is Ivo in front of him. So lap times, is he gaining or is he dropping back? Why don't you show up on my timing screen? There it is. So he is actually outlapping. Am I reading that correctly? No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Yes, he is outlapping him time-wise quite considerably, so could see a change before the end here, quite possibly. The gap at the front, Borovec still slowly creeping away at the front, waiting to see what is going to happen with Kristinich. Is he any closer? Oh, here we go. Bellato doing a real good push now. Got Bellato, so he is running 147.8s compared to 149s in front of him of Langdijk, and there's a big mistake from him there. Langdijk goes very wide at the hairpin, well off the circuit. Easy position for Bellato, really nicely done. Like I said earlier on, this is a race of attrition. It's not just who is outright the fastest on the track, it's who can keep it together for the longest amount of time. I say 2 hours is a really long time to be solo racing. I say this isn't a team race, this is single driver racing, but this is a double stint essentially. And there we go, Bellato up into 7th place, officially on the timing board now. Great effort by him. Got a bit of a distance to go till he catches up with Mex in front of him, and Mex is currently lapping quicker than him, so don't think we're going to see Any moves there? Oh, here we go. Brooker on the back of Ivo again. This is where we see the Mercedes at its strongest, though. On this pit straight, it's got a lot of grunt. You can really, really get itself going. And this is also where the Porsche is at its weakest. It's going to probably be left for dust.
This is race control. Warning for car 806 for pushing another car off track at lap 58, turn 4. Warning for car 806. Over.
Okay, so 806 was Virches. So just a warning for him. Again, any penalties anybody picks up this late in the race will be devastating. No time to try and get them back. Oh, what happened there? I just missed that because I was looking at timing boards. It looks like Brooker has let someone through there. Yes, he has. I believe that is our pole man, Borevich, to be fair, who he let through. Yes, it was, but that has meant he has dropped back slightly, and that is meaning that Ivo in front of him has got a little bit away. And Ivo now trying to hold on to the back of Borevich, try and follow his lines through, maybe try and stay in the tow, try and get a little bit of a pull. So there you go, Borevich made it through that pack. Still squabbling with traffic, doing really nicely. 5 minutes left of the race now. 5 minutes left of this 2-hour race. How is Kristanich's pace is slightly better than D'Couza on that last lap. So that second place might be under attack at some point, but I think he's got enough of a lead, not worried too much. But someone that from lap 1 all the way through has been really, really dominant, Borevich, is doing really nicely. Okay, so this is the battle of the guys with the penalties. So this is the battle for... This is going to be 8th position, but obviously there's a couple of guys that have got penalties there. So it's not going to go in their favour the whole way. Oh, here we go. Kristanich. Was there a mistake from Kristanich? We're watching on board with him now. Yes, ran a little bit too much inside curb. It's a very, very aggressive curb there. And it just unsettled the car very easily. Just about manages to make it through. Brooker on the back of Ivo. Can he make a move? Can he get through? Oh, another one going on. Zach versus Tonzetic. Is he close enough to make a move? I don't think he is. No, he's not. But he is within Sniff, really pulling away. Was that Tonzetic coming past Zach? Did I misread that? Have I read that the wrong way around? I think I may have done. Looking at lap times, yes, Zach did a 1:52 last lap and doesn't look like he is particularly on the pace, showing up as 2.7 seconds off the pace by Zach. Is he now creeping to the pits? I'm not sure. This late in the race, if he's got to stop for a splash and dash, that's going to be killer. That's going to put him right towards the back of the grid. Oh, 10. Not quite close enough to make the move. Is he close enough? I'm not entirely sure. Not quite, I don't think. No, not going to be able to do anything through Renault. I don't think anything through turn 4 either, even though this is where we have historically seen the Mercedes be weaker through sector 1.
This is race control. Lap 65, turn 1, incident between cars 96 and 228 under investigation. 96 and 228 under investigation, over.
So car 96 and 228. 228 is Wojciech. Car 96. Who is car 96? That is Miltelevich, isn't it? Yes, it is. Where on track is Miltelevich? He's running in 18th place. Okay, I'm not sure what that battle was. Oh, heating up on screen. Apologies. Noble under attack from Mex, and this could be their second to last lap. Realistically, this is going to be their penultimate lap. 1 minute and 20 left on the clock. Really, not a lot of time left at all. So the leader just coming up to cross the line at the moment. Bit of a squabble going on. That's back markers there. Yeah, gets past them. Mex now. Right. There we go. Leader on the final lap now. So this will be their penultimate lap. This battle going on here. Noble versus Mex. So this is Pro versus Am. Really, really wonder what we're going to see. Are we going to see a move here? Not quite close enough. This late in the race, last thing you want to do is throw it all away. Say, oh no, sorry, this is about for 5th place, isn't it? Yeah, so I mean, this is Pro versus Pro, isn't it? I thought for a moment this was Pro versus Am, but it's not. It's Pro versus Pro. Noble doing a great job holding off Mex. Oh, it's really going to be a sprint to the line. I thought they were definitely going to get another lap in, but it is going to be a sprint to the line. Well, they will, because the driver's on another lap, so they're going to go around once more. This is it. This is the final lap. This is where it all comes to. Noble went very defensive and tried to hold on to the inside line. Mex going to try to go to the outside through turn 1. Can he do anything here? Not quite able to. Can't keep his nose round into turn 2 either. Is he going to try and get a run for turn 3? Possibly going to try and go around the outside. No. Can't do anything here.
This is race control. Car number 96 gets 30 seconds time penalty for causing a collision with car 228. 30 seconds, car number 96. Over.
Also, penalty on basically the final lap coming in. That's going to be a killer for him. I think our leader is just about to cross the line. Miltelevich, yes, here he comes, thundering across the line. A massive effort by him. Really well done to win the first of our 2-hour stints. Brilliant, brilliant work here at Barcelona. Fantastic. And Dakuza coming across the line now as well. One of our one-stop guys, and fantastic to see Nissan GTR up on the podium. Great effort by him. Kristanich just coming towards the final chicane now. Nicely done. Been a great race by him as well. And I think of our next, it's one of our Am drivers as well, just coming onto the pit straight. There we go. But Kristanich rounding out the podium. Great effort by him. There you go. First of the Am drivers coming across in 4th place overall and 1st place in class. Doesn't look like Mex was able to make a move, not quite able to, and is going to come across the line in 6th, just behind Noble. But a really good scrap these guys had towards the end. Great effort by them. Oh, BMW's fighting it to the last. So this is Langdijk versus Wojciech. Still got a little way to go. There's still some opportunities for overtakes to happen. Just work out who is that as well. That's not Brooker, that's a different, that's a much further back. I want to say that's Miltelevich further back. There we go, coming across the line. Everyone's finished now. Great, great effort. So as they cross the line, Miltelevich on pole, Dakuza 2nd, Kristanich 3rd, Miltelevich 4th, Noble in 5th, Mex in 6th, Bellato 7th, Langdijk 8th, Jokic 9th. So yeah, oh god, I said that numbers the wrong way around. And 10th place was Wojciech. Fantastic effort for that top 10. And the top 3 Am drivers all inside the top 10 as well. Really, really good effort by them. Great to see Am drivers that far up the order. Brilliant, brilliant effort. So having a little look, obviously there was guys with time penalties that got added on. on, so everything had a bit of a shuffle round at the end. Couple of guys that never saw the checkered flag. We've got Tadic, never made it. Brenzanic never saw the checkered, and I just realized Concoli, he never saw the flag, did he? And he was right up at the front at the beginning. When did that happen? I do apologise that we never called that out. I'm amazed the chat never abused me for that one. I'm sure someone will tell me. I'm sure someone will tell me very soon. I'll probably get told off. I can't believe I missed that. But hopefully some people are going to want to join us at some point in the commentary box. Oh yeah, Takuza actually is already ready to come in with us, so we will drag him in momentarily. Is that back to life? What has just gone on with my Discord?
Oh, hello. Now I can actually hear you. Can you hear me?
I do apologise about that. Not sure what happened. Yes, I can hear you. Absolutely fantastic. Dakuza, amazing race. Your strategy seemed to work fantastically. You're up on the podium. You've managed to get a GTR on the podium as well, which is a fantastic effort. How did it go? How did it feel?
Well, I never expected that. That's just fantastic race. I was expecting to be 10 or something below that. Just made the tires work. The car was fantastic, and yeah, I'm out of words. Just so happy with the race.
We had at the beginning of the race that you managed to keep it together so well. We saw that big slide towards the end of the race. Was that just the tyres getting towards the end of their life, or just missed the braking zone, got a bit too excited towards the end?
Yeah, I think it was the tires. And basically I knew the fight was over, so I didn't really want to push it. I was so happy with P2, so...
Yeah, just to be on the podium. Great effort. We did wonder how long you would be able to hold off Borovic, who obviously, qualified great and dominated a lot of the race. But to be fair, he didn't finish that far ahead of you in the end. You did a really, really good effort of getting that GTR across the line so close to Borovic. And, he'd, at the first stint of the race, he'd pulled away by, I think it was something ridiculous. I think he was doing nearly 30 seconds a lap getting away from everyone else. It was bonkers, his pace. So to finish that close to him at the end was absolutely fantastic effort. Absolutely incredible. Just obviously the strategy, it would seem, worked great for you. I'm trying to think what that does to you in the points, to be honest, because that's a great effort to finish, obviously, second. Let's get the points up on my screen and we can have a quick rummage and a look. So, because at the moment, you're running in 6th at the moment, so that's going to really bump you up the order, because, say, a couple of guys in front of you have got pretty similar numbers to you finish-wise, so a second place, great effort, absolutely fantastic. Going to see you, I'm trying to think who finished in front of you. Obviously, Dan Minton finished behind you. Concoli, don't actually think saw the checkered flag. Verchez behind you as well. Miksic also finished behind you. So you've, apart from Borovic, you've outscored everyone in front of you in the championship. So that's definitely going to see you jump up, because you're 6th now with 29 points before this race, and the guys in front of you had 32, 3 of them. So I mean, that pretty much sees you jump ahead of those guys quite significantly. So I think that puts you in 3rd in the pro standings. I might be wrong, my math isn't my strong point, but pretty sure that puts you in 3rd at the moment. So great effort, amazing effort, to be fair.
Nice, thanks a lot, I'll take it. And yeah, congrats to Philip for another win. That was just convincing drive.
Yeah, again, he's just showing how dominant of a racer he is. It's been an amazing effort. Thank you ever so much for joining us in the commentary booth, Takuza. We are going to bring in the race winner, Philip, in just a moment. So thank you ever so much for joining us. And again, congratulations to your 2nd place. Brilliant effort by you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
No worries. Right, let's bring in Philip. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hello.
Another amazing race, continuing to dominate this championship. So that's out of 4 races, that's 3 pole positions and 1 second place. You're already way ahead of your nearest rival, Dan Minton, and you've pulled even further away today. So fantastic effort, mate. How did it all go for you out there?
Yeah, that was a fun one. I decided to do 2 stops because I thought it was faster. I wasn't sure, didn't test it at all, so it turned out okay. I was a little bit worried after the first pit stop. I think I was around 12th then. There was a large group of cars ahead who didn't pit, but it was easy to overtake with new tires because they really drop off so much, like 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds when you overheat them.
Yeah, we could definitely see that, especially in the last sort of half an hour of the race when we were looking at people's times. You could really see that yours, because of your 2 pit stops, they'd really stayed within quite a consistent window, whereas a lot of the guys that had done the single pit stops, they were dropping nearly 2 seconds a lap. So that obviously gave you a real chance to catch up with them, and then when you could catch them, it looked like you had no problems getting past. Obviously, we were wondering how soon you'd catch Takuza, and you caught up with him, and then obviously he just told us his tyres were basically gone, and obviously you saw at turn 4 he went very wide. But you managed to get past, so a nice easy overtake for you there, and I didn't get stuck behind him for too long. But I mean, you just seemed to dominate the entire race. A bit of a scare obviously in turn 1 on lap 1 when Mex split the difference and went through the middle of you two. Who was that he went between? I think that was you and Concoli, didn't he? He went through the two of you, and so we were it was a bit of a sort of head in hands moment of, oh god, I think has it all gone? But then you pulled it back, stayed really clean, especially in I think it was the first 10 minutes. You pulled out like a 5-second gap within 10 minutes, and it was astounding. You could look at the track map, and you were just miles away from everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I had less fuel. That might be one of the reasons. I managed to keep the tires in a good window for, I don't know, 20 minutes, and then they dropped off. So there was no sliding at all. It was good. It was a good race.
So it looked pretty textbook from our point of view. Obviously, it was interesting watching everyone roll in and seeing how the 2-pit system worked. And like you said, you were quite nervous, obviously, that some of the guys that had done the single pit.
Yeah, I mean, it's risky. It's always risky because you end up so far back in the field when you have to do fast laps, because that's, I don't know, 30 seconds to change the tires and probably around 30 to go through the pit lane, so you lose a minute,
which is the better part of an entire lap here, really, isn't it? It's a big difference. I mean,
so sorry, you have
no, carry on.
You really have to be faster, around 2 seconds a lap, for a large amount of the race for it to work. But I managed to make it work somehow.
I mean, it looked great. It looked fantastic. I mean, obviously, like you said, it just managed to come together. Your double stop obviously made a big difference. I know that a lot of people say that the Porsche handles very differently depending on how much fuel is in it, and I presume going for the double stop meant that you could keep more of a consistent level of fuel.
I mean, it was pretty hard when the fuel level was around 20 liters. Because the left tire is the worst here, left rear, so it was actually quite dangerous to drive when it was low on fuel. But I saw that the pace dropped for I don't know, a second and a half in that period, but it was just too risky to drive it on the edge.
I did wonder if, because looking at how quickly you made up the gap in that first stint compared to then, like you said, that you're sort of like after your second stop. Like, interesting, you've just said that you went a bit more steady. Because I was almost thinking to myself, looking at it, it didn't look like you were pushing quite as hard, and I did wonder if that was either sort of fatigue for you or whether the car was just, not feeling quite the same as it did earlier on the race. So to hear you say that you backed off ever so slightly does make sense when you look at the timings.
Yeah, I did.
But I mean, it played perfectly. I mean, you had no reason to push any harder than you were. I mean, you were still outlapping everyone around you. So, I mean, and your nearest rival, Dan Minton, came in 3rd place. I'm sorry, 11th place. I'm not about 3rd. He's in 11th place. So, a big points haul.
Yeah. That's good, but I'm not actually sure what happened to him in the race. I saw that he made a late pit stop, I think.
It was penalties for Dan Minton. He picked up a drive-through penalty for track limits.
Oh, okay.
I think he may have had other penalties earlier in the race as well. I'd have to look back through because there's been a fair few penalties come through. But yeah, I know he definitely picked up a drive-through penalty at some point this evening. So that obviously made a huge difference. Yeah. Obviously dropped him back quite significantly on the grid. But I mean, apart from that, I mean, just hats off to another amazing drive by you, to be fair. I said, like, continuing to dominate the championship. It was the first of the 2-hour races, so really proved that you can do both sprint racing and sort of like these semi-endurance races, like these 2-hour double stints. Just a fantastic effort all round, has to be said.
Thank you.
No worries. Any final words before we? Then we're going to call it a day in a minute. No one else is queuing up in the interview room, but I think we're going to call it in a little bit. My voice is pretty ruined after 2 hours of yelling at my microphone.
Yeah. Final words. Thanks to ISDA for organizing the championship. Thanks to you for doing the live streams. And thank you to all the drivers who make it fun.
Fantastic. Thank you ever so much for that. And one final shout out to Sim Racing Pro. Thank you ever so much for sponsoring us. I just gave you double finger guns, even though I realised I'm not on camera, but I still did it anyway. So thank you ever so much for joining us this evening.